Hello, I'm Martin Fencka and welcome to the first episode of Let's Play Civilization 5 Vox Populi as Denmark. So this time you guys really did make it easy for me to decide what we're gonna play. We had so many different suggestions, but problem was that all of them were different. And I couldn't decide basically until I saw a comment that really caught my attention saying, hey, what about playing something that you want to play for a change? And this idea came in at exactly the right time as I really couldn't decide what to play. So in the end, I decided to play Denmark, a save that I wanted to play for a while. Probably since like our Zulu Let's Play, where Denmark almost ran away with the game. And where Denmark really caught my attention. I was never really paying too much attention to them, especially in like the vanilla save. I really didn't like Denmark there, but in Vox Populi they became much stronger, especially their unique building is insanely overpowered, so I want to take advantage of that and see how much we will be able to abuse that. But we'll get to like the save specifics in a minute. Before that, I should say, as usual, this is the first episode of a Let's Play, so we'll be voting for a starting location. As usual, I have 3 starting locations prepared. I will show you all 3 in this episode and you guys will decide which one we will use for the Let's Play. And also, as always, I will make all these 3 starting locations available to you guys so that you can try them, you can play with me, but I won't do that until the next episode, until after the voting, so there are no spoilers like that someone would check how the map looks like and then like tell me that in comments. I know it's unlikely that someone would do that, but I want to make sure that doesn't happen and the game doesn't get spoiled for me that way. Before we get into the settings, let's quickly check the mods that I'll be using. As usual, the Vox Populi complete package with the filter for trade routes. I did some testing this weekend with some other mods. I was basically testing the game stability as usual, and I have still the same problem. I don't know if my game is cursed, but when I add some more mods, even mods that are tested with Vox Populi and should work quite well, my game just like decides to start acting up. And it's just not stable enough for me to feel comfortable recording with it. I really don't want to get into a situation where I will have to like reload 3 times in every episode because the game just keeps crashing. So we'll stick to the basics. And when we check the advanced setup, we will be playing as Denmark, as I said, but the game didn't keep the amount of saves that I want to go with. I added 2 more saves, so we'll be playing against 11 opponents on a large map of a type of large island. Of course, our Denmark is, our unique abilities of Denmark are focused on the ability to like raid coastal tiles. So I want to have a map that allows me to properly use this ability. So that's what why we go with large islands. Other settings, Deity epic, no changes here. The game kept everything as I set it up. And for advanced options, research agreements, I disabled the completely event system as usual. We have research agreements available, no ancient ruins. What else? I disabled both tech brokering and trading, so no, let's say, cheating in the end game or late game when I'm getting huge amounts of gold for selling techs to saves that are behind. What else? Quick combat, quick movement, random personalities to make this a little more unpredictable, transparent diplomacy, and this time I won't be using Raging Barbarians. I really can't say how the game would look like with Raging Barbarians on island map, so we'll just go without them and see how that works. So these are the settings. And as I said, I already have the 3 starting locations prepared, so we'll start here. And before we check the map, we will talk a little bit about our unique abilities. There really isn't that much except for our unique building, but that unique building is so strong, so it basically compensates for the other options that are not that strong. So our unique ability, Viking Fury, embarked units gain +1 movement and pay just 1 movement to disembark. It's only to disembark, not to embark. So only when we are leaving the water, but that's basically where we need it so that we don't get slowed down when we attacking someone. Melee land units gain Viking promotion and melee naval units gain longboat promotions. I will have to check these two promotions. I don't know what they do exactly, so we'll check that once we enter the game. And I should probably mention one thing, during the last 2 patches, there are some changes to the naval combat, so I want to also try that. This should be a good opportunity. The promotions for naval units were reworked, so I want to test how they work. And that reminds me, when I'm talking about patches, I'll be using the Vox Populi from the 15th of September with the 19th of September hotfix. So that's the latest version of Vox Populi currently available. So if you want to play with me, use the save files, make sure that you have the same version as I do. Okay, that was our unique ability. Now, our unique unit, Berserker replacement for a Longswordman, is available earlier, but still needs irons. That's the main weakness. On the island map, it's definitely not guaranteed that we have iron. And yeah, not getting iron with this type of unique unit, that would be a significant setback, so fingers crossed that we'll be able to get iron in time so we can use this guy. They are pretty strong, so I would like to play with them at least for a while. Now we are getting to our unique building, the like the strongest unique ability or unique building that we have. This thing is just broken. It replaces lighthouse, and wherever you pillage a tile improvement, gain 5 production and culture in the city. Scaling with error. It's scaling with error. It's just completely crazy. And if I understand this correctly, each city that has the runestone available gets the bonus. So if you have I don't know 5 cities, each with runestone, and we pillage 1 tile, each of those cities gets the bonus. At least I hope that's how it works. So we definitely want to fight as much as possible, and we will be just pillaging everything that we can get our hands on. On top of that, it gives us 25% extra production toward land and naval melee units. So it boosts basically the production for berserkers. I think that's the most relevant part in the early game. And later, some extra production for ships. We could maybe even train some units this time. We won't be buying everything, but we will see about that. Then it gives +2 food and +1 gold from coastal and ocean tiles and form city connections. I think compared to Lighthouse, it gives more food. I think Lighthouse gives 1 food and 1 gold. I'll have to check that. But I think even this part is buffed. And on top of all of that, the building also gives +2 culture. So there's so many bonuses compared to Lighthouse that we can just like create the game around just our unique building, and that's what I want to do. So that's that, and now let me quickly check. I want to see a Lighthouse just to confirm that I remember things correctly. Yeah, +1/+1, and of course doesn't have the culture. And now I want to see, what was the Viking, the promotion? There we go. Just no movement points to pillage. Perfect. Gain 200% of damage dealt to cities as gold. And 25% combat strength on pillage tiles, minus 25% damage from cities. That's just pretty strong. I knew that Viking had something to do with the pillage tiles, but when I read the complete description, damn, the thing is strong. And the other one was longboat, I think. Longboat. There we go. Cost no movement points to pillage. And gain combat strength on pillage tiles. What? How could we get combat strength on pillage tiles with a ship? Whatever, gain 200% of damage dealt to cities as gold. Ignore zone of control, that's nice, and takes less damage from cities. Well, I think we'll be relying on melee units quite heavily this time. Good, we know everything, and now we can check the starting location. So here's the first one. I could probably show you a little bit more, guys. Just move the Pathfinder a little bit. Move south. We have marble. And I'm thinking where to move so that we see as much as possible from the map. Probably here. That will reveal quite a few tiles. Okay, so there's another copy of Spices. Spice is not a bad starting location or starting a luxury. We have a lake for some extra food. We can start the city right here so that we create a connection between the lake and the sea. I don't think you'll be able to reach this spice. I don't think it's worth moving. We won't have a hill for our capital, so that will cost us some production. But overall, I think pretty decent starting location. So that's the option number 1. When we check number 2... Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's a large map. It may take a while to load. Oops. Hope it's not gonna take too long. On. Oh, not the end of the world. Here, our starting location will be starting luxury will probably be sugar. Then we have coffee. This one is probably my favorite, and it's the strongest, I would say, from all 3. I just couldn't convince myself to reload this one. It almost feels like really overpowered starting location, but when you get something like this, you just don't reload it. When we check what's around. This could be a bit of a problem that we may be on a small island. We can't really see much, but the island could just end here. It seems like it goes south. We can see a tiny bit of the coast, but it still could end like right here. And on the other side, it could be like this, let's say, and we could be on an island where we can fit like 3 cities maximum. So that could be a problem, but other than that, I still think this is the strongest starting location. And the third one... Come on, come on, come on. There we go. This is a little bit different, because it seems that our main luxury here will be whales. We never had that in any of the Let's Plays. We are always relying on the land luxuries. But I think in combination with our unique building, sea luxuries are pretty good. We'll be starting next to a river, next to a mountain, so that means later we should be able to build things like Slater Mill, Neuschwanstein, Machu Picchu. Problem could be the desert to the north. It's really hard to say how far it goes. But yeah, we have some decent tiles that we won't have available right from the start. I think I want to start on this tile. Later we could create a connection to this lake if we really wanted to pop a citadel here so that our ships could just freely move through. But when we check what we have around the capital, there really isn't much. We would have 2 food, 1 production, which is not bad. But we want to get either those whales or the lake tile as soon as possible so that we can start working 3 food tiles to speed up the growth. And maybe let's check to the north. I'm not sure where to go. I really would like to see in all directions, but let's check the desert. It looks like there is a coast, so it will probably be just a tiny bit of land. Seems that the island ends here. But it should... Actually, there is a coast here as well, so maybe this is not a large island. Before I moved, it looked like it could be almost like a continent, but now when we see the coast basically on all sides... This could be challenging to fit enough cities on this. Again, might be just island for like 3 cities, and then we would have to find another island for more cities. But well, that's something we will have to solve in the next episode. This one is over. You see all the starting locations, so the decision is yours. Again, please let me know in comments 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to your comments, and tomorrow we will start the Let's Play, finally start playing. Until then, have a good time. Bye-bye.